Hi everybody. This is exercise 95, and boy is this one uh, trickier than it looks, I would say. So you've got these two pieces here on the outside that have that kind of circles connected by tangent line shape, and then they're separately extruded, and then you see you've got these cylinders that connect the two, and then a bunch of fillets. Um, I got to say that I really had to think about this one at first of how I was going to create that. And the one thing that occurred to me is there's no way I wanted to create the this half and that half uh, twice. It just feels like you should never have to do anything twice in this software. And it occurred to me that a way to get around that would be to create one of these and use a mirror feature to create the other one. And but the thing is if you're going to do that, you have to have something, a mirror plane, right? And so it's another one of those situations where um, symmetric extrusion is really helpful. So what I thought would be the way to go about this would be to create the two cylinders and then extrude them and create those on the front plane and extrude them symmetrically out. And you can see that they go out 70, and then make a sketch, an offset plane sketch for this, extrude it, and then just use the mirror feature to make the other one and connect it all together. And the other thing you could do would be to create the two sides and then connect it all together with the cylinders. But I'm going to start with the cylinders. I think that makes the most sense to me. And yeah, again, kind of a tricky part. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to want to do is replicate this view right here with a pair of circles, of rings more than like, actually I think that would be a better way to describe it, as rings. So you're going to have a 40 and a 60, and I am going to make this my origin. And then out here, 100 away, we're going to have a 10 and a 20. And then that'll be it for the sketch, and then we'll do the extrusion. So let's go ahead and start with that. So again, I'm going to have to make that on the front plane. I'm going to make a new sketch, right click to hide the planes, oops, and then hit N to look on. And so let's go ahead and start by making that 40 diameter circle and the 60 diameter circle. And then using a automatic horizontal constraint, we're going to make a 10 and a 20. And I'm going to hit escape and move the dimensions out to places where they're not being obnoxious. And then we have to use the dimension of 100 horizontally between these two to properly locate those. Okay, so that's all we need to make these two cylinders. So I'm going to accept that. I'm going to right click and select isometric. And the drawing shows that the width of the cylinders, or the height of the cylinders, depending on how you're thinking about it, is 70. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to get a symmetric extrusion of 70. And again, the reason we're doing it symmetric is we want that plane to be available as a mirror plane when we do the other parts. So you notice it made two different parts. There's no way I can avoid this. If they're not connected to each other, it's going to be two separate parts, but that's okay, because what we'll do is we'll use our other extrusions to tie it all together. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to create this kind of outer circle and extrude it to make this 10 millimeter thick plates. And I think the way I'm going to do that, there's a couple ways we could do this, okay? If you notice that the gap in here is 40, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an offset plane that is 20, which is half that distance away from the front plane, right? So if this is the front plane running through the part, and I offset at 20, that'll be the base of this, and then I extrude it up 10 to get the part that I want. And so I'm going to go ahead and create a plane. And in order to, and again, there's my front plane. I'm going to grab that plane tool And the entities that I'm going to use is the front plane, and I want it offset by 20, not 25. And so there you go. So that's my new plane. Okay, and I'm going to hit N. Whoop, no, that's not going to do anything until I make a sketch. I'm going to right click, make a new sketch. Then I'm going to hit N, and we're going to see our setup that we had before. Now, one of the things that's going to be really useful is I can use the project feature to get those outside circles that I need as a part of, those will allow me to have the centers too for when I generate the other circles. So if we look here, this has a diameter of 80, this outer portion, and this has a radius of 20, which would be a diameter of 40. So an 80 and a 40. So I'm going to start with my 80. And then I'm going to do my 40. Okay, and then I'm going to hit escape, drag the dimensions out of the way, connect it with some lines. And then we'll make those lines tangent. So we'll get the tangent constraint and then make those lines tangent with both of the circles that they connect to. And now this is fully dimensioned. We're going to use the trim tool to lose those inside curves. And we've got exactly what we need. So we'll accept that. And I'm going to go to my isometric view. And you can see that sketch is right where we want it. Now it's important. We need to extrude at 10, but we got to make sure we extrude at 10 in this direction. And so I'm going to get my extrude. I'm going to click add because I do want to add it to the existing parts. And it is going in the right direction, but I need to change that to 10. And then the reason it's red is because we need to specify what are we merging it with. I'm going to merge it with both of the existing parts. And now you see what's going on. Okay, and so we'll accept that. And I'm going to hide this plane that we created, and I'm going to show the front plane because this is going to become my mirror plane for this mirror feature that I'm going to do. So I'm going to hit mirror, change it to feature mirror. The feature I want to mirror is extrude 2, and the mirror plane is going to be the front plane. And look at that. That worked. So I'm going to accept that. I'm going to hide that front plane again because oh, what just happened? Oops. Oh no, what happened? Oh gosh, well that was weird. That was me trying to do too many things at once. Okay, that's fine. We can do it again. No problem. We're going to do the mirror, feature mirror, extrude 2, mirror plane, front plane, and I think I must have clicked accidentally. This is what happens when you talk while you're trying to do stuff. I think I clicked the red X instead of the green check. There we go. Now we got what we want. And let's hide that front plane. And we're almost done. We're not quite done because there's a number of fillets to do. So if you look, you can see 2 radius fillets here, here, here. There's a lot of radius 2 fillets. As a matter of fact, all the fillets are radius 2 fillets. Well, that's really cool because then we only have to make 1 fillet feature. So I'm going to click on the fillet, change it to 2, and then just proceed to click on all the different places where I want that fillet. And I'm going to click the places I can see first, and then rotate it around and do the ones that, it really does start to get a little overcrowded after a while, but, you know, we can contend with that. There we go. I think I got them all. And then let's inspect it. Did we get all of the fillets where we wanted them? Yep, looks like we sure did. Okay, and there is your part. Definitely required some forethought and some planning to make it easier. And the more of these you do, the better you get at that kind of pre-planning that makes your life easier. All right, good enough, and have fun with that.